𝗣𝗸𝗶𝗀𝗏 𝗣𝗔𝗹𝗶 𝗖𝗵𝗇𝗏 Mr. Ishaq Dar President, 𝗖𝗵𝗶𝗀𝗁𝗍, Muhammad Maqbool Saab, Chairman Conference Committee, 𝗖𝗵𝗶, Muhammad Saifullah, Vice President of the Institute, Mr. Hasnain Badami, Vice President, 𝗖𝗵𝗶, Council members of 𝗖𝗵𝗶, Fraternity of Chartered Accountants, Chairman SECP, Member, Commissioner SECP. I hope you haven't changed the nomenclature of the job. Commissioner SECP, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum and very good afternoon. It is indeed a great pleasure and privilege for me to speak at this conference. 𝗖𝗵𝗶 is a place that I consider my home. It is my family of professionals that include my friends, colleagues, and people I have worked with in one capacity or other in the last 47 years. As council member, as member of the institute, as vice president, and as a colleague. I would like to begin by congratulating the Institute of Chartered Accountants for organizing this conference on sustainability, transformation, and technology. I can recall that the last conference was held almost 18 years ago, and I'm certain that the success of this conference will pave a way to continuing this tradition in future, and the process will become sustainable for years to come. It is imperative that modern day governance is able to benefit from technology and leverage it to realize economic gains and ensure that they are allocated efficiently and effectively amongst the largest possible group of people, thereby providing equity and inclusion. However, as we have seen in the recent past, the structural transformation and advances in technology often have been treating ramifications for the nature and environment. Resultantly, the good governance practice in 21st century have to navigate carefully between the opposing objectives of climate change, environmental sustainability, and the adoption of technology. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to continue adopting technology which could place us amongst the developed and industrialized economies of the world, while ensuring that our economic models are inclusive and factor in the cost of such advances to the environment and the society at large. Dear colleagues, the public financial managers of today, many of whom are trained accountants, have a critical role to play in creating financial models that can advise the government on the efficiency of public sector allocations. The government has a high demand for such skills, and these are critical for the efficient and effective private sector too. Budgeting is an important public sector governance. It is a function that transcends the sectorial boundaries, and the chartered accountants are logical choice that in preparing such budgets, they are not only responsive to the needs of the people, but also in conformity with our development needs, while also ensuring the sustainability, which is socially and environmentally responsive. I would like to remind you, I'm sure you are well read, well informed, and your memories are great. This country just 4 years ago was somewhere different. In 2013, Pakistan was a macroeconomic unstable country, declared globally and predicted to be going in default within 6 to 7 months, no matter which political party would win. I'm reminding you, February 2013, election took place. PMLN got the, they were lucky to win the election. And we had the responsibility to fix that macroeconomic unstable economy of this country. It was double-digit inflation. It was high interest rates. It has a rupee which was shaking, and it had very low forex reserves. And the GDP growth of the average previous 5 years was less than 2%. That's the state of economy Pakistan was in 2013. Then we took the responsibility. We started off, and where did we reach? First of all, within 5 days, we presented the budget. I remember the Prime Minister taking oath on 5th of June 2013 and the Cabinet taking oath on 7th of June 2013. Within 5 days, we managed to present the budget. Obviously, I was working since we won the election in May, but I was not visiting the divisions. And so all that formal process had to be done after I was sworn in. For my preparatory work behind the scene, yes, I was doing it. Within a month, we didn't waste time. Once the budget was approved, within a month, on 4th of July 2013, we signed the IMF agreement. If you are in such a state of economy and you still decide कि मैंने खुदकुशी करनी है, कि मैंने अपना economy को ठीक करना है, मैंने IMF जाना है, कि मैंने दोस्तों के पास जाना है, there's a too slow and too unfair treatment to the nation, I would believe, and the economy particularly. Behral. So where did we reach in 3 years? I don't want to walk you along all the distance we covered. Within 3 years, the whole world was acknowledging Pakistan progress in economic, and they were praising. Your ratings went up, and by 2016 and 17 fiscal year, we had low inflation, 4% CPI. We had food inflation, 2%. We have stable currency of 104. We inherited at 100 rupees, and it went shot up in the beginning to 111. We had 24 billion of foreign exchange reserves, including State Bank with $18+ billion. We had growth at around 6%. Now, these things are music in the developed world. If you perform, but we are always ready for political instability in this country. What was the projection of the PricewaterhouseCoopers, which is unchallengeable, that Pakistan would be 18th global economy by 2030. And Canadian and Italian economies would be behind you. As a nuclear power, you would be sitting at par with the other 19 members of G20. Now, this was the Pakistan destiny. I wish the political parties of this country should have worked together, hand in hand, and reached and shortened that 2030 journey. In 2016, we could have easily made 2026, 27, but provided we had worked hard together. I remember presenting the budget 2013-14, and I kept saying that let's have Charter of Economy. Fiscal year 2015, let's have Charter of Economy. Each year I was presenting 3-year, medium-term macroeconomic framework with the budget for the fiscal year. What else can one do? But as I said, all that dream shattered. We had dramas of Dawn, dramas of Panama, and we ended up at a point where Pakistan now is predicted recently 54th economy in 2034. It is, it breaks my heart, and I feel so upset कि पाकिस्तान की किधर थी इसकी जगह और हम किधर जा रहा था, पाकिस्तान किधर चला गया. बहरहाल, this is what has happened to this country. I don't want to politicize. I don't want to go into, but I'm just flagging the facts which are documented globally. Nobody can deny, within and outside Pakistan. Behral, we have seen where we are now. We are having trouble right, left, center. We are again back to macroeconomic challenges Pakistan has been facing. And as a consequence of that, you saw that there was a constitutionally moved, a vote of no confidence succeeded, and a new government of political parties, PDM plus others, was formed. They had very serious challenges. They have been trying, first of all, to rescue Pakistan from a default, which they have done, but at a very high political cost. And I think it is worth it. If it's the choice is the Riyasat and Siyasat, I think Riyasat should take the priority, not Siyasat. मुल्क है तो सियासत होगी ना जी, मुल्क नहीं है तो सियासत कौन सी होगी. और हमने देखा कि हम जहां पहुंच चुके हैं, अभी हमें बहुत ज्यादा काम करना पड़ेगा. लेट्स बी ऑनेस्ट. और आई बिलीव दैट यू कैन प्ले योर रोल. Everybody can play a role. Everybody is as important as the Prime Minister or any of the ministers. So challenges were deep, but unfortunately, the devastating floods, the catastrophe you have been through as a country, that has really, created multiple challenges for Pakistan. I will come to the floods later, but let me just share with you. I would like to clarify a few things which have been talk of the town. And I've tried to clarify it in Washington, Reuters, Bloomberg, Wall Street Journal, APP, APF, etc., etc. There has been a talk about Pakistan that we would go to Paris Club. Paris Club is where you go for rescheduling of your loans, and the members of Paris Club are World Bank, IMF, IFC, IBRD, Islamic Development Bank, Asian Development Bank. All these would be part of the multilateral, what we call donors or partners or lenders to Pakistan, any country. I think as a professional chartered accountant, I did not second it when I joined just about 3 weeks ago. I had convinced, I have shared it with Prime Minister, it is not the right thing. I'm sure you all deal with your clients, industry, trade, business. It doesn't send a good signal. We should be able to deal with our liabilities and with our responsibilities without going to Paris Club. So my first announcement after I took office on 28th of September was, we will not go to Paris Club. The second thing is our bonds are maturing $1 billion in December this year. There was a huge speculation in the international financial markets that Pakistan will ask for force majeure extension in the maturity date of the bonds. I think religiously, morally, and contractually, we should do our best to meet our obligations on time. Only then you will have, the credibility, integrity in the Committee of Nations. मुझे याद है कि उस वक्त भी मुझे बताया गया जी पेरिस क्लब हाजिर है और जब 2013 में हमने लिया तो उधर जाएं ये करें मैंने कहा कहीं नहीं जाना we will take the program, we will work hard, we'll change the direction, we'll stop the damage, and then we'll go to international the bond markets and the international secondary market. We did it. April 2014, after almost 9 months, when we went to after the world, witnessed what we were doing. The world witnessed what Pakistan was performing. Kidhar gaye hum? We offered our bond $500 million. We were 14 times oversubscribed. It was a rare achievement which a country can have in the international bond market. I remember after the road shows and this conclusion of that issue of bond in New York, I had to attend the spring meetings of the World Bank IMF. There was nobody who wouldn't compliment me, who wouldn't congratulate me on behalf of Pakistan. So see, हमें उस तरह का resolve चाहिए अगर हमने पाकिस्तान को ठीक करना है. ये तो घिसा पिटा है कि जी ठीक है पेरिस क्लब चले जाएं, बॉन्ड इधर कर दें, उधर कर दें. So I don't believe in the third speculation. Since you are all professionals and nothing, as sharing these things with you would obviously spread to a large number of professionals. Third thing was that knowing me, I would renegotiate IMF program, which in my opinion should have been different. I personally believe again, the sovereign commitments must be honored, whether any government, PTI, PPP, any government. So, शायद मैंने negotiate करना होता तो मैं कुछ और करता, yes, लेकिन it is not good that there's a change of guard and change of government. You go and say कि नहीं हमें ये चीजें मंजूर नहीं है. Especially you are only eight months away from the program conclusion if we do on time. ये program तो वैसे ही खत्म हो जाना अब तक खत्म हो जाना चाहिए. 2019 में शुरू हुआ. लेकिन the only program in the history of Pakistan which was concluded was under PMLN when I was finance minister. Nawaz Sharif was the prime minister of Pakistan. That was the only time. Pakistan is known 3 to 4 tranches country. Upfront loading, पैसे लिए तीन structural reforms quarterly किए और फिर खुदा हाफिज कर दी. So first time Pakistan completed IMF program and we got recognition globally that we are now a serious country to be reckoned with. That was 2013-16 program. If you recall, दुनिया के multilateral जो heads थे of the donors, Dr. Kim, World Bank president, Shri Buliani, the CEO of World Bank, who later became finance minister of Indonesia, who was followed by Christina, जो इस वक्त है MD IMF. She replaced Shri Buliani in World Bank. Christine Lagarde was the MD IMF. She came to Pakistan in this very city. All these people, twice Asian Development Bank President Nako came. Mr. 𝗔𝗹𝗶 of China, he came. Everybody came on my invitation because they were seeing Pakistan is performing. Pakistan is the future. Pakistan is going to be 18th economy of the world. So now everybody would like to business with you. अगर हम खुद जाएंगे बाहर, दवाई हमारे अपने हाथों से की होगी, और हम जाके कहेंगे मैं मसलन जाऊं इन्वेस्टमेंट कॉन्फ्रेंस यानी खिताब कर रहे हैं और मैं को मेरा मुल्क डेट ट्रैप में है, तो कौन ओनली को पागल ही आएगा कि आपके मुल्क में आके इन्वेस्ट करें? आई मीन यू आर बैड माउथिंग योर कंट्री। आई मीन इफ यू आर 70s में अगर आपका डेट टू जीडीपी, व्हाट्स अ बिग प्रॉब्लम? व्हाई वी आर maligning our country internationally and globally? Japan is 257% debt to GDP. America is 110% debt to GDP. UK after COVID 101% debt to GDP. I can name and point out number of developed countries. लेकिन हमने कसम खाई है कि अपने मुल्क के मुफाद को नुकसान पहुंचाना है, और जाके ग्लोबल फोरम से ये जो कुछ हो रहा है, ये this is unusual, and you people as professionals should have been flagging it and criticizing it कि पाकिस्तान को सीधे रास्ते पे चलो, सब पॉलिटिशियन इंक्लूडिंग पीएमएल। But I think you guys have not performed your duty as professionals. आपको ये टाइम मुल्क के लिए देना चाहिए. This country has given all of you and me also this recognition that we are, we have been privileged to the extent कि अल्लाह ताला ने हमें इस मुल्क में ये मुकाम बख्शा कि हम चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट, मैं तो इंग्लैंड से पहले किया, फिर मैं यहाँ का मेंबर हुआ 70 और यूके में 75. I was director of finance in UK when I left for Libyan government picked me to set up their Auditor General of Pakistan, Auditor General of Libya, the external audit segment, वो उनका Arabic में था, English में नहीं था. So 6 chartered accountants from England was hired, and I was one of those. We set up those. I audited Occidental, Mobil, Marathon, all these companies during my 14-month stay there. तो बात ये है कि ये हमारा मुल्क है, हम सबको अपनी अपनी जिम्मेदारी, पैसे माशाल्लाह ये सीनियर लॉर्ड जो बैठी है तो ठीक ठाक बना ली है माशाल्लाह, they have financial consolidation. You don't need, please do contribute your share. You can do in multiple ways, and I think you should. It is our duty. मैं तो उसी पैशन और उसी इंटरेस्ट के साथ मैं उसमें बिलीव करता हूँ. So let me assure you कि जो ये इस वक्त एक है ना जी कि जी वो पैसे, everybody, since we are all professional, you understand कि एक्सटर्नल हमारा अकाउंट होता है. हम अगले साल प्रोजेक्शन होती है, हमारी एक्सपोर्ट कितनी होंगी, हमारी इंपोर्ट्स कितनी होगी, हमारी रेमिटेंसेस कितनी होगी. देन हाउ वुड वी, अगर खुदा ना खासा उसमें बिग गैप हो, देन ऑब्वियसली मैटर ऑफ वरी, बिकॉज हाउ वुड यू फिल दैट गैप? नो, दिस हैज बीन द डिबेट ऑन गोइंग, और मार्केट्स आर नर्वस फॉर नो रीजन. लेट मी टेल यू कि आज अगले साल जो करंट चल रहा है फिस्कल ईयर, इसकी जो टोटल रिक्वायरमेंट है इज अबाउट $32 to $34 billion. 22 बिलियन की आपकी मल्टीलैटरल लायबिलिटीज ड्यू होनी है. रफली 12 बिलियन का करंट अकाउंट डेफिसिट जो ट्रेड प्लस रेमिटेंसेस माइनस करके वो है 34. Is it something huge and spontaneous that government can do it? Yes, we can do it. Why not? We have did it in fiscal year 2016-17. You look at the numbers. We did it about 35, roughly same amount. उस वक्त इसलिए चाहिए था because we were setting up this LNG plants. We were setting up the energy generation plants. 18 घंटे की लोड शेडिंग शायद आप भूल गए हो 2013 में, और हमने वादा किया था हम ये लोड शेडिंग को खत्म करके जाएंगे. We completed it and we did it, but it required money. If you wanted to stay in the stone age, fine. Then 32 बिलियन की जरूरत नहीं थी, फिर शायद 20 बिलियन से काम चल जाता. नहीं, चैलेंज लेना पड़ता है जी, जिम्मेदारी लेनी पड़ती है, और ली हमने. वी सक्सेसफुली परफॉर्म्ड एंड सक्सेसफुली डिलीवर्ड. क्या हमने ज़र्ब आज़म नहीं लड़ी? क्या हमने रद्दुल फसाद नहीं लड़ा? क्या हमने फाइनेंस नहीं किया? इज हंड्रेड्स ऑफ बिलियंस ऑफ डॉलर फाइनेंसिंग. वी डिडंट आस्क फॉर बैगिंग बॉल लेके हमें पैसे दे दुनिया. ये तो दुनिया की जंग थी. लेकिन आपको ऑनरेबल नेशन और दुनिया की कॉमोडिटी ऑफ नेशन में इज्जत डिग्निटी के साथ अगर बैठा तो ये काम हमें फिर करने पड़ेंगे, चैलेंज कबूल करने पड़ेंगे. हमने किए. एंड बहरहाल एज ए सेड के कोई, मैं मार्केट्स को इस कॉन्फ्रेंस के जरिए और आपको पैगाम दे रहा हूं कि कोई नर्वस होने की जरूरत नहीं है. वी आर बैक इन बिजनेस. इंशाल्लाह वी विल अरेंज एवरीथिंग. नथिंग इज टू वरी. पाकिस्तान विल बी फाइन. किसी को ये प्रॉब्लम नहीं होनी चाहिए कि पाकिस्तान डिफॉल्ट कर देगा. पाकिस्तान विल नॉट डिफॉल्ट इंशाल्लाह, अल्लाह के फजलो करम से. ये भी यही चीजें हमने सुनी हुई है 2013 में भी और पहले भी 98-99 में भी सुनी हुई है. तो मुझे तो वैसे उस वक्त लाया जाता है जब बिल्कुल वो कहने पट्ठा बैठा होता है, जो पंजाबी हम कहते हैं, जो बिल्कुल तबाही हुई होती. तो मैं, अल्लाह का फजल है, 98-99, आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग रेटोरिक, आई एम टॉकिंग विद डिलीवरी. 98-99 आपके सामने है. पाकिस्तान वाज हैड टू फेस द वर्स्ट सैंक्शंस, इकोनॉमिक सैंक्शंस ऑफ द वर्ल्ड. आपको याद होगा जब हमने एटमी धमाके किए Obviously they wanted to punish us. लेकिन अल्लाह का फजल है, मैं उस वक्त फर्स्ट डे से फरवरी 97 से आई वाज ट्रेड एंड कॉमर्स मिनिस्टर, सम टाइम मेरे इंडस्ट्री भी थी। लेकिन जब वो हालत हुई तो फिर मुझे 6 नवंबर 1998 को ये जिम्मेदारी दी गई। रुपी हैड गॉन टू 69 रुपीज इन द मिड डे और क्लोज 67 पे होता, उस जमाने में हाईएस्ट था। और इसी नेशनल असेंबली में तकरीरें हो रही थी कि ये दिसंबर 98 में 100 रुपए का होगा, जाए 14 तकरीरें पढ़े आप। तो बात यह कि वही पाकिस्तान है। हम अगर अल्लाह पे भरोसा करें और अपनी पूरी एफर्ट करें, मेरा ईमान है कि अल्लाह ताला आपको कामयाबी देते हैं और कामयाबी मिलती है और मिली है। इसी तरह 20, 13, 14 में मैंने आपको स्टोरी सुना दी। तो बात यह है जी कि घबराने की जरूरत नहीं है, पैनिक फैलाने की जरूरत नहीं है। मेरा ख्याल है कि हमें अल्लाह पे भरोसा करके हम, एंड आई एम डूइंग I don't believe in doing weekly, monthly and quarterly. I believe in covering the entire year, fiscal year. And alhamdulillah, I'm very confident. I don't see any difficulty कि हम उसको मैनेज नहीं कर सकेंगे। मैनेज माजी में करके दिखाया, मैनेज करेंगे इंशाल्लाह। पाकिस्तान ठीक होगा अल्लाह के फजल करम से। पाकिस्तान को ठीक हो सकता है, होना चाहिए, ये हम सब की जिम्मेदारी है। तो सियासत बाद में होती रहेगी। बहुत लोग कहते हैं जी आपने बड़ी गलत काम किया है, आप अगर ना ये यानी वोट ऑफ नो कॉन्फिडेंस करते तो आपकी पॉपुलैरिटी उसी तरह ठीक रहती, कोई और जो है अपने बोझ के नीचे दब के गिरता। ये बात सही है। द चॉइस वाज वेरी डिफिकल्ट। रियासत और सियासत, should we care for our political capital, should we care for the country, should we care for 230 million people of Pakistan? That is the difference. ये हमने सोच समझ के किया है, कोई इसमें कोई शक नहीं है। आपका ख्याल है ये महंगाई जो है ये 6 महीने की लाई हुई है? ये 3.25 साल की इनकॉम्पिटेंस, मिस गवर्नेंस एंड बैड परफॉर्मेंस, मिसमैनेजमेंट का नतीजा है। ये चीजें ना 6 महीने में आती हैं ना 6 महीने में जाती हैं। सो अवर फोकस इज दैट इस डैमेज, इस डिक्लाइनिंग ट्रेंड को रोकें। वो अल्लाह के फजल से हम काफी हद तक कामयाब हो गए हैं। दूसरा ये तक हम इसको डिफॉल्ट से बचाएं, वो हम अल्लाह के फजल से कामयाब हो गए हैं। अभी हमने इसके मैक्रो इकोनॉमिक इंडिकेटर्स को, इसकी डायरेक्शन पॉजिटिव की तरफ लेके जानी है। हमने इन्फ्लेशन को नीचे लाना है, हमने रुपए को स्टेबल करना है, हमने फॉरेक्स रिजर्व्स को बिल्ड करना है, हमने जीडीपी ग्रोथ को वापस, जो 2% ऑफ प्रोजेक्ट हो चुकी है पाकिस्तान की इनकमिंग बिकॉज ऑफ फ्लड्स आल्सो, वो एक नेशनल कैलेमिटी है, नोबडी कैन डू एनीथिंग। तो इन चीजों को हमने करना है। मेरी गुजारिश ये है कि आप भी अपना जो रोल है वो अपना वो अदा करें, एंड पाकिस्तान इंशाल्लाह विल बी आउट ऑफ इट अल्लाह के फजलो करम से, एंड विद आवर कंबाइंड एफर्ट्स आउट ऑफ दिस man made disaster. I've been writing articles, I've been being interviewed on phone, क्योंकि मेरी जरा इंटरव्यू को ज्यादा तकलीफ कुछ लोगों को होती थी। So there was a ban on me. मेरे साथ तो उन्होंने जो कुछ करना था कर लिया। मुझे आपसे अफसोस है कि आप में से कोई नहीं बोला। ये इशफाक तौला साहब मुझे जरूर रब्ता करते थे। You should raise the voice. Do you expect I have not filed 20 years tax returns? What a joke. This can happen only in Pakistan. 1981 to 2001, this is my case. I didn't file tax return. I never delayed my tax return by 20 minutes. I have been giving extension as this is my 4th term, 3-time finance minister, but I've never availed even that extension because I knew that I'm going to give extension in filing of return. तो आप मेरे साथ ये बात करते हैं तो that personal I have no issue, but please मेरी गुजारिश ये है कि आप अपने ज़मीर के मुताबिक अपना हर किस्म की फेजेस आती है, बट एवरीबॉडी मस्ट परफॉर्म हिज ड्यूटीज, नेशनल ड्यूटीज और प्रोफेशनल ड्यूटीज अकॉर्डिंग टू कॉन्शियस, और ये समझ के कि अल्लाह ताला को हम सब ने एक दिन जवाब देना है। तो मैं सिर्फ आपको रीअश्योर कर रहा हूं कि कोई फिक्र की बात नहीं है। हर रोज यहाँ कोई ना कोई ड्रामे होते हैं कि जी ये हो जाएगा वो हो जाएगा, कुछ नहीं होगा इंशाल्लाह। ना पहले 98, 99 में हुआ था, ना 20, 13, 14 में हुआ था। वी गॉट, अल्लाह ताला ने हमारे गुनाहगारों के हाथों फिक्स करवाया था। इट्स गोइंग टू बी फिक्स्ड। आई हैव फेथ। अगर फेथ ना होता तो मैं 4थी दफा मुझे जिम्मेदारी लेने की जरूरत नहीं थी। और बहुत लोग कहते हैं कि आप हर दफा जब प्रॉब्लम होती है तो आप लेते हैं, जो ठीक होती है, स्काई होता है, तो फिर आपकी टांगे खींची जाती है। मैं यार मैं क्या करूं, आई एम पाकिस्तानी, आई लिव इन पाकिस्तान, आई हैव टू फेस दिस बिकॉज दिस इज कल्चर है। तो मेरी सिर्फ आपसे गुजारिश है कि आप भी जरा मेहरबानी करें, आप अपने थोड़ा सा 10%, 15% टाइम कौम को भी दें, मुल्क को भी दें। यू कैन कम अप विद नंबर ऑफ आइडियाज। ये काउंसिल का सिर्फ जिम्मेदारी नहीं है, आप सबकी। आई सी सो मेनी very intelligent, you are all intelligent. You would not have been chartered accountant if you are not intelligent, that I know. अपने आप को एक्सक्लूड करके कह रहा हूं, बट इट्स अ वेरी हार्ड कोर्स. पीपल टेक, इंग्लैंड में 8-10 साल, मेरे साथ जो, मैं गोल्ड मेडलिस्ट 69 में था, वो मुझसे पहले थे, वो स्टिल स्टक थे. तो ये अल्लाह ताला की ब्लेसिंग हम सब पे कि हमें बेहतरीन इल्म दिया, हमें एक अच्छी लाइफ दी. वी आर बेटर देन करोड़ों लोगों से. 23 करोड़ में से यू मे बी मे बी 1 or 2% आप फॉलो करते हैं, तो हमारी जिम्मेदारी भी उसी तरह उतनी ज्यादा है. बहरहाल आई जस्ट वांटेड टू गिव दिस रन डाउन. मैं उम्मीद करता हूं कि आप सब दोस्त जो है वो जरूर अपने कीमती मशवरे, अच्छे मशवरे देंगे पाकिस्तान को भी, और उसके हवाले से कि क्या अच्छाई हो सकती है, किधर हो सकती है. यू नेवर नो कि किसका अच्छा मशवरा जो विल क्लिक. सो मैं ये अर्ज कर रहा था कि ये हमारा जो एक जिम्मेदारी है वो हमें कलेक्टिवली जरूर उसको निभाना भी चाहिए और उसके ऊपर अमल भी करना चाहिए. तो आई वुड सिंसियरली request ke I'll come back to the main topic. I've been a little bit derailed, but I think there were current issues. I thought that I should share with these issues with you people, because you will spread it and people will come to know and there'll be clarity. So ladies and gentlemen, in this age of fast transformation, the accountancy profession is also undergoing a rapid change. To be successful as an accountant today, the traditional skills and competencies of professional accountants have to be complemented by ethics, integrity, and recognition of responsibility towards public interest. मैं अभी आपको अर्ज कर रहा हूँ कि सब आपका, मेरी सबकी जिम्मेदारी है कि हम जो कुछ कर सकते हैं अपने लोगों की फलाह के लिए, पाकिस्तान की बेहतरी के लिए, पाकिस्तान की डेवलपमेंट के लिए, पाकिस्तान की अपना प्रोग्रेस के लिए, वो हम सबकी जिम्मेदारी. Chartered accountants are also expected to work closely with the governments, and particularly in Pakistan, towards the formulation and implementation of sustainable economic and social policies. वो मैंने अर्ज की है कि आप मेहरबानी करके वो मुझे भेजें. हम इंशाल्लाह उसको ना सिर्फ स्टडी करेंगे, जो प्रैक्टिकली पॉसिबल होगा उस पे ऊपर अमल भी करेंगे. Sustainability is an environmental and social driver that's now changing our day-to-day lives in almost every way imaginable. Businesses have to commit to sustainable and environmental friendly practices as climate change becomes more manifest. Ladies and gentlemen, all of you are very well aware of the damages caused by the recent floods in Pakistan. It was a natural catastrophe, and I have been talking in Washington with all the stakeholders. I used to have about 40 meetings. हमारा जो delegation जाता था, this time we had record 58 meetings in 4 days. So these are multilateral, these are bilateral, mostly ministers. So we have been explaining there was a round table on Pakistan flood situation that has been organized by United Kingdom government as well as the World Bank. और उसमें शायद आपने पढ़ा हो कि एक कमेटी बनी थी जो कि इस सारे काम को स्टेयर कर रही थी. It had UNDP, European Union, Asian Development Bank and World Bank. And Pakistan government obviously assisted क्योंकि floods तो पाकिस्तान में आए हैं. Let me share with you that the numbers are very heartbreaking. हमारा almost 1/3 of our land mass is underwater and affected by these floods. Our almost less than 2,000 people उनको जामे शहादत हो गई, उसमें लेडीज और बच्चे भी हैं. करीबन 2 मिलियन, आज तो फिगर जो दिया एनडीएम में 2 मिलियन से भी क्रॉस कर गया. 2 मिलियन हाउसेज हैव बीन आइदर डैमेज्ड और वॉश्ड अवे. तो हमने नहीं, हमारा अपनी एस्टिमेट था बिफोर इवेंट इज अबाउट 25 to 30 billion. On the day of this round table in World Bank in Washington, they were supposed to, this committee जो professionals की है, they were supposed to give the initial numbers of the losses and the needs Pakistan would have to deal with this catastrophe. उन्होंने losses जो गिनवाए हैं उस दिन, I was to conclude that meeting, I was co-chairing. तो उसपे ये था कि जो उन्होंने losses गिनवाए हैं, that is 32 very close to our estimate, $32.4 billion पाकिस्तान के losses जो हुए इस flood की वजह से. और minimum need जो है, this is a very initial preliminary estimate as per this renowned committee of the 4 members, is $16.2 billion. So see, we have to work around this. It is a national duty to deal with the you see, जो immediate response है वो तो government कर रही है. उसमें करीबन 50 billion तो cash disbursement हुई है through a transparent way in through this income support fund. data भी है, नादरा है, women को मिलता है, और फिर जो district जहां ये सारी catastrophe हुई उन ladies को, तो वो जितना है जाने से पहले कुछ शुरू में जब मैंने लिया तो विद इन फर्स्ट 2-3 days मुझे पता चला कि कुछ कंप्लेंट्स है, तो हेल्ड अ मीटिंग विद गवर्नर ऑन Zoom मीटिंग with the governor state bank and the agent of the bank tha, I think it was a B bank and all the other stakeholders. So उसका फिर मुझे अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह अब ये है कि करीबन 98% जो है वो डिस्बर्समेंट हो चुकी हैं, which is a good thing. जाहिर है कि अगर किसी इस तकलीफ में है तो उनको अब चाहिए, अब महीने बाद देंगे उसका कोई फायदा नहीं. Almost 49 billion Prime Minister has announced through provinces and special disbursement, वो भी finance despite all this tight position and legacy of the past जो उनको मिली है, उसके बावजूद हमने वो भी, everything is under control. But that is immediate response and meeting the needs of flood affectees. But in the long run, you have to deal with the reconstruction, rehabilitation. That's a real phase, and that has to be resilient infrastructure. खुदा ना खास्ता ये दोबारा आए तो फिर अल्लाह माफ करे कि ये नहीं कि घर हो जाए, जैसे आपने देखा होगा इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर कैसे बहा है उस इतनी. अब प्रॉब्लम ये है कि वी ओनली, हमारी एमिशंस जो है वो करीबन 0.6% ऑफ द ग्लोबल एमिशंस, एंड वी आर वन ऑफ द मोस्ट 10 वल्नरेबल कंट्रीज इन द वर्ल्ड. अल्लाह करे कि किसी के साथ ये ना हो जो हमारे साथ हो. हम ये नहीं चाहते कि जी 10 हैं तो 10 में हो, किसी में भी ना हो. अल्लाह पाकिस्तान को भी महफूज रखें, बट वी हैव टू प्रिपेयर अवरसेल्फ. This we have experienced, and such a huge losses to the national national जो मैटर है, और जो एक नया चैलेंज बन गया है, जो इकोनॉमी का चैलेंज चल ही रहा था, ये एक I would say it has compounded the problems of the challenges of the current government. But inshallah, as I said, we are dealing with it. So let me assure you that the government again is dealing with is the top priority. I had multiple meetings with the multilaterals there, and government of France has offered to hold a donors conference in Paris sometime next month. Prime Minister साहब उसको खुद lead करेंगे. तो हम I mean we are not seeking, or we are not asking, or we are not, but I don't want to use the word begging, but we are obviously, everybody knows what has happened. Everybody knows हमारा कितना कसूर है. Everybody knows. So I think the gracious and the generous support would be welcome. Would be, we'll always remember कि जी हमारे ऊपर मुश्किल आई थी, जो कि हमारी तो cause नहीं थी, लेकिन the world community rose to the occasion and helped Pakistan. So let's see. I'm very sure, inshallah, God willing, इसमें UN Secretary General का बड़ा रोल होगा. वो भी करना चाहते थे. French President was very generous to offer this thing. So they will combine, most likely hold this conference, and we are right now working on the detail next month. I would also request all participants to go through the United Nations 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and the underlying 17 Sustainable Development Goals. These are very important. And आप नेट पे मिल जाएंगे. पाकिस्तान frankly is lagging behind a lot. इसलिए जो February 16 में जो हमारा डेवलपमेंट एजेंडा बना था, उस पे the progress has been very slow. We were supposed to meet these goals because this is a global responsibility of Pakistan, but good for us as well as a country. क्योंकि अगर होगा तो हम भी उससे benefit करेंगे. But it is a global challenge, and there's all the emphasis by all global institutions like United Nations, Commonwealth, your multilateral donors, World Bank, IMF, etc. So I think आप भी देखें, अगर टाइम मिले देखें कि वो गोल जो 17 हैं उसको हमने कैसे हैंडल करना. Ladies and gentlemen, on the whole, I'm confident that the fruitful discussions have taken place in the earlier sessions of this conference regarding further needs in sustainability, reporting and technology, which will impact not only the accountancy profession, but the business, trade and industry as a whole. I'm sure the learning from this conference of today will help my fellow colleagues and friends and the participants to perform their jobs in a better and befitting manner. I was happy to see the feeling and the assessment here in the house, also from Lahore and Karachi. So I'm grateful that seems satisfactory. Unless को तोला साहब ने को plan करके रटोरा किया तो मुझे नहीं पता. One is I'm not suspicious. He's a great friend and a great performer. And I think you are lucky to have a president like him, and I hope many more would come. मैं यहाँ अपने को पुराने colleagues भी देख रहा हूँ who have served in the council. So lastly, I would like to acknowledge the commendable contributions of Mr. Ishaq 𝗵𝗶 Mr. Muhammad Maqbool Saab, Mr. Muhammad Saifullah, and Mr. Hasnain Badami, and the entire management staff of ICAP who have very successfully organized this conference. My compliments to you. Please don't let us wait for next 18 years to have the next conference. Try to make it 18 weeks if possible, but maximum 18 months. So with these words, and from the core of my heart, I'm most grateful for your patient listening and bearing me maybe ups and downs, but you're very gracious. Thank you so much, and God bless you all.